What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you as ever for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I hope you are doing well. Somewhere on the screen, you'll see all of my socials. If you give those a follow for me, I would really appreciate it. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Notifications to turn on, that you are commenting, that you are sharing the video, liking it, hyping it, all of that good stuff. I'm also on all of your podcast apps as well, so Apple and also Spotify. So yeah, if you're listening to the audio version of that, then just make sure that you are liking those as well, just to help with the algorithm and pushing them up and all of that good stuff. So it is the big game review video. We are discussing Leeds United's 1-0 defeat to Manchester City. Game's literally just finished. Weird game overall. I thought in the first half it was nearly an absolutely perfect first half. We pressed fantastically well. We were causing them issues and problems with the high press. We were all over them. I was maybe slightly worried that the level of effort that we were putting in, that it was going to drop off a little bit as the game kind of wore on. But you know, there's stuff that it's very much a game of where you've got to take your chances, and we didn't take our chances. Calvert-Lewin has an absolutely stunning chance in the first half where he's basically through on goal. Lovely cross from Aronson, and he puts it literally just wide. Should be scoring. Should absolutely be scoring on that one. We've got another one where he's on the 17th minute, a left-footed shot from the left-hand side of the 6-yard box. It's close, but it just missed to the right. That was assisted by Strauch. And then on 18 minutes, James Justin has a shot saved from outside of the box, bottom left-hand corner by Don Revie. That was an assist by Ampadu. And then Brendan Aronson misses an opportunity in the 21st minute. Stack has an attempt blocked in the 22nd minute. I'm just trying to look down the thing, just to see what other chances that we had. Another attempt missed by Calvert-Lewin in the 25th minute. A header from the centre of the box. It misses to the left. And then attempt missed by Goodmanson. He shot over the bar on that one. We then had an attempt saved by from a shot from Brendan Aronson from the right-hand side of the box. And then I don't know what happened for sort of like the last kind of sort of 15 minutes, if that makes sense, or the last kind of 10 minutes of the half. We just seemed to sit a little bit deeper, and we allowed the pressure on us a lot more, and that allowed Rodri to dictate the pace of the game. So Manchester City could just do what Manchester City did, and we had just this weird sort of period where we were just letting them come on to us. They got into the game, and we were just letting them come on to us a little bit too much within sort of the first half. And Semenyo scores in the 47th minute, so the second additional minute of added time, where the ball goes down the left-hand side, comes across from Chekri, and then I don't know how, but Semenyo's just in all sorts of space. So it's almost like Rodon's just left him completely free, and it's a shame. So, you know, it was nearly an absolutely perfect, like I said, you know, first half performance. Restricted them to very, very little, bar the one opportunity, up until the point where they scored their goal. They had an XG of 0.00. So that tells you how much we restricted them. So I was kind of thinking, well, okay, that's not too bad, just as long as we come out with the same sort of energy and sort of desire with that. And then the second half happens, and I kind of feel like it was a bit of a weird second half. There wasn't... City kind of got into it a bit more, and they had obviously more of the ball, so they were dictating sort of pressure and pace a little bit more, but we dropped off too much, or we weren't as intense in our pressing that we were doing, and what we were trying to do, and how we were trying to go about doing it. And even with saying that, City weren't amazingly good. They weren't peppering shots off left, right and centre. Darlow made a good save in the second half. He made a very good double save in the first half as well, which keeps obviously the goal difference down. But yeah, the second half just seemed a bit weird. It was a bit leggy. You could tell certain players were knackered. You could tell Aronson was tired. You could tell Gruev was tired. Ampadu was looking a little bit off it at the same time as well. And then we make the substitution. So Aronson comes off for Mecha. And then in between that and Savinio coming on, Antinori missed a shot from outside of the box. And then Reinders comes on as well. And there was a delay in the match because Nick O'Reilly was injured. But then just as the second half it felt like we were kind of running in treacle a little bit up until the point that we made the change with James and Nonto coming on. And we pretty much went to a 4-4-2 at that point as Bogle came off. We went to a 4-4-2 at that point, and we went for it, and we started to get inroads again into City with that 4-4-2 formation, and it started to look like something was going to happen. Biol came on as well and nearly scored with his first touch. But just in the end, it wasn't quite enough to get the point which I actually think we deserved. We just weren't good enough in the second half. And I think that's probably down to the level of control that City had over the game. Our intensity level dropped off. When we play with a quick, fast pace, we are much better. We proved that in the first half. We absolutely proved that in the first half. But what was interesting was what happened at the end of the game. And it was full-time whistle blows, and Farke is absolutely fuming. He runs straight onto the pitch and he goes for Peter Banks. Absolutely goes for him. And do you know what? I can completely understand why. Shekri stamps on Gruev, and that's completely ignored. Doesn't go for a review for VAR. There's the double handball in the box, if you want to be hypercritical about it. That isn't looked at for VAR either. James Justin has an absolute gash on his ankle from a tackle from somebody that was way over the top. Again, wasn't looked at for VAR in any way, shape or form. City were time wasting towards the second half. City were time wasting against us to hold on to the point. Gamesmanship, fair play, whatever, but just the irony of it. And diving around and falling around all over the place. Bogle goes for what's his face as well? Goes for Bernardo Silva and is really trying to go for him because Bernardo Silva is just a petty little whatever you want to call him. But just that is one of the worst refereeing performances that I've seen at Ellen Road for a long. And we've had some shockers. Absolute shockers at Ellen Road. And Peter Banks has missed loads and loads and loads and loads of instances that should have been looked at that weren't. And it's funny because you can then kind of understand why the conspiracy theorists have that feeling in and around them, that there is a conspiracy theory with regards to the way that referees treat Leeds. And it's just... It's simply not good enough because also as well, what are VAR doing in, they're supposed to be monitoring what's going on in the game. So how are you missing a stamp? How are you missing a double handball? How are you missing a tackle which causes a gash on a player's leg? How are you missing clear diving and not having a whisper into the referee's ear to say, hang on a minute, we need to have a further look at this? It's just, it is infuriating, and it is that thing of the big six getting all the decisions. Would that have affected the outcome? Who knows? You can't say whether or not it might have done. You can't say whether or not it might not have done. So, that aside, I'm pleased with the performance in the first half and the last sort of 15 minutes of the second half-ish when we went for it a little bit more. But for whatever reason, that first little section in the second half, I'm not sure what happened. We didn't seem to have that level of intensity that we'd had in the first half. The only reason that I'm not absolutely apoplectic is because obviously West Ham lose today, so we still have the 6-point gap on West Ham. Oddly enough, as well, to point out, yes, we lost 1-0, but we also gained 2 goals on West Ham as well on that basis. So we've improved goal difference on West Ham as it stands. And my big thing is being at the end of this weekend and still being the 6 points clear, now with an improved goal difference overall. Burnley were really unlucky as well, by the way. Oh my God. 2 goals ruled off of that is when you're down at the bottom and the luck's not going your way, that is an absolute example of the luck not going your way. So, yeah. But that's the only reason I'm not absolutely apoplectic with it. Obviously, we've got Forest and Spurs to come, so we'll have to wait and see what happens in their 2 games. So it's interesting. I said it'd get tighter. I said it at Concertina. You know, I wanted out of these 3 games to have gotten a minimum of 4 points up until this point, and we've walked away with 5 points out of it. So, you know, Forest, Chelsea, Villa, Man City, and we've walked away with 5 points as opposed to 4. So I kind of feel like we've done better than what I thought we were going to do. And we've still maintained, at this moment in time, we've still maintained that 6-point gap, which is the most important thing out of everything, as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, Peter Banks sniffed flip-flops, as far as I'm concerned, and wanted to make it all about him. The annoying thing is now is obviously that Farker can't be there at the can't be pitch side with the game against Sunderland on Tuesday, which I'm really looking forward to. So, yeah, it'll be nice to see Jerry again. Thank you, Jerry, as ever. Really do appreciate you sorting me out again, as you have done a couple of times this season. So I'm really looking forward to getting down to Ellen Road on Tuesday night. That's going to do it for this one, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to click the like button. If you're new to the channel, please also don't forget to subscribe. Make sure your notifications are turned on, that you are commenting, that you are hyping the video kind of thing off as well, that you are, if you are listening on audio, I should say, please give it a like rating at the same time as well. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. I will see you very, very shortly, I would have thought, for the preview for the game against Sunderland at Ellen Road on Tuesday night. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Cheers.